Ireland's 5-match tour in New Zealand vs All Blacks and Maori All Blacks. How to watch live on Sky Sports. Ireland's 5-match tour of New Zealand is exclusively live on Sky Sports. 3 test series versus All Blacks and 2 matches versus Maori All Blacks. How and when you can watch the tour as Andy Farrell's side travel to New Zealand looking for a first-ever win on Kiwi soil this summer. Andy Farrell will look to lead Ireland to a first-ever victory over the All Blacks on New Zealand soil this summer, exclusively live on Sky Sports. The tour is Ireland's first since a 2018 2-1 series victory against the Wallabies in Australia, and their first to New Zealand since 2012, as they seek to make history. Sponsored link. If you'd rule Thailand, this game simulates geopolitical conflicts. Conflict of Nations. Recommended by. This is the start of our Rugby World Cup campaign, and it is going to be a fantastic challenge for our group facing 5 massive tests across the 3 weeks, head coach Andy Farrell has said. We will learn so much about the players and the group as a whole as we have to front up for 5 incredibly tough fixtures, far from the comforts of home and in grounds where the home support will greatly outnumber traveling Irish fans. 5 uncapped named in 40-man Ireland squad for NZ Series. Ireland announce midweek Maori clashes, live on Sky Sports. England battered by 14-man Barbarians. Rugby on Sky Sports. When are Ireland's fixtures? Maori All Blacks vs Ireland in Hamilton, Wednesday, June 29, live on Sky Sports action from 8 a.m. New Zealand vs Ireland in Auckland, Saturday, July 2nd, live on Sky Sports action from 7:30 a.m. New Zealand vs Ireland in Dunedin, Saturday, July 9th, live on Sky Sports action from 7:30 a.m. Maori All Blacks vs Ireland in Wellington, Tuesday, July 12th, live on Sky Sports action from 8 a.m. New Zealand vs Ireland in Wellington, Saturday, July 16th, live on Sky Sports action from 7:30 a.m. Who is in Ireland's squad? Ireland have named 5 uncapped players in an extended 40-man squad for their summer tour to New Zealand. Leinster trio Kieran Frawley, centre, Joe McCarthy, second row, and Jimmy O'Brien, wing, Munster's Jeremy Loughman, loosehead prop, and Connacht's Cian Prendergast, back row, make up the uncapped selections, with the squad captained by 36-year-old Johnny Sexton. Injuries mean Leinster hooker Ronan Kelleher, shoulder, Munster wing Andrew Conway, knee, key men during Ireland's successful 2021 autumn series in 2022 Six Nations, miss out, as do Ulster wing Robert Baloucoune, hip, Munster prop Dave Kilcoyne, neck, and Munster centre Chris Farrell, hip. Twitter. Due to your consent preferences, you're not able to view this. Privacy options. Backs, 18. Bundy Aki, Harry Byrne, Joey Carberry, Craig Casey, Keith Earls, Kieran Frawley, Jamison Gibson Park, Mac Hansen, Robbie Henshaw, James Hume, Hugo Keenan, Jordan Larmore, James Lowe, Michael Lowry, Connor Murray, Jimmy O'Brien, Gary Ringrose, Johnny Sexton, c. Forwards, 22, Ryan Baird, Finlay Bealham, Tyg Byrne, Jack Conan, Gavin Coombs, Caelan Doris, Tyg Furlong, Cian Healy, Dave Heffernan, Ian Henderson, Rob Herring, Jeremy Loughman, Joe McCarthy, Peter O'Mahony, Tom O'Toole, Andrew Porter, Cian Prendergast, James Ryan, Dan Sheehan, Nick Timoney, Kieran Treadwell, Josh van der Flyer. What happened last time Ireland toured New Zealand? The last time Ireland toured New Zealand in 2012, they still had never beaten the All Blacks anywhere. A 3-0 series defeat came, including an agonizing last-gasp 22-19 loss in the second test after a Dan Carter drop goal with the clock in the red. Since then, Ireland have gone on to beat the All Blacks 3 times, November 2016 in Chicago, November 2018 in Dublin, and, most recently, November 2021 in Dublin. The last meeting between the pair. The All Blacks will want revenge, while Ireland will look to create more history. Bumper July of rugby on Sky Sports. As well as showing Ireland and New Zealand this summer, Sky Sports will show England's 3-test tour of Australia, Wales' 3-test tour of South Africa and Scotland's three-test tour of Argentina. Wednesday, June 29th. Maori All Blacks vs Ireland, live on Sky Sports Action from 8 a.m. Kickoff is at 8:05 a.m. Saturday, July 2nd. New Zealand vs Ireland, live on Sky Sports Action from 7:30 a.m. Kickoff at 8:05 a.m. Australia vs England, live on Sky Sports Action from 10:15 a.m. Kickoff at 10:55 a.m. South Africa vs Wales, live on Sky Sports Action from 3:30 p.m. Kickoff at 4:05 p.m. Argentina vs Scotland, live on Sky Sports Action from 7:30 p.m. Kickoff at 8:10 p.m. Saturday, July 9th. New Zealand vs Ireland, live on Sky Sports Action from 7:30 a.m. Kickoff at 8:05 a.m. Australia vs England, live on Sky Sports Action from 10:15 a.m. Kickoff at 10:55 a.m. South Africa vs Wales, live on Sky Sports Action from 3:30 p.m. Kickoff at 4:05 p.m. Argentina vs Scotland, live on Sky Sports Action from 7:30 p.m. Kickoff at 8:10 p.m. Tuesday, July 12th. Maori All Blacks vs Ireland, live on Sky Sports Action from 8 a.m. Kickoff is at 8:05 a.m. Saturday, July 16th. New Zealand vs Ireland, live on Sky Sports Action from 7:30 a.m. Kickoff at 8:05 a.m. Australia vs England, live on Sky Sports Action from 10:15 a.m. Kickoff at 10:55 a.m. South Africa vs Wales, live on Sky Sports Action from 3:30 p.m. Kickoff at 4:05 p.m. Argentina vs Scotland, live on Sky Sports Action from 7:30 p.m. Kickoff at 8:10 p.m.